What if I told you a woman born before the invention of the microwave could still do handstands, cartwheels, and bar routines in front of a crowd and leave them speechless? Sounds like something out of a feel-good movie, right? But this isn't fiction. This is Johanna Quaas, a woman who turned the aging process into her personal playground. Imagine walking into a gym and seeing someone in a green leotard gracefully flipping on parallel bars. Now imagine realizing she's not just someone's grandmother, she's nearly a century old. That's Johanna for you. She didn't just challenge what's possible after 50, 60, or even 80. She completely shattered the playbook. Born in 1925, Johanna has lived through wars, watched the rise and fall of empires, witnessed the birth of the internet, and still, her favorite place is the gym. In fact, she holds the Guinness World Record as the world's oldest active gymnast. And no, this isn't a novelty act. She's not there for claps out of sympathy. She earns her applause the hard way, through strength, precision, and heart. So how did she become a global inspiration at a time when most are told to sit down and take it easy? The answer starts with one simple rule: never stop moving. But before we dive into her superhuman routines, let's rewind. Because Johanna wasn't always the viral sensation you've seen online, her life was filled with obstacles that would have convinced most people to slow down. Born in a time when women had limited opportunities, she still chased physical education as a passion. She trained, she coached, she raised children, she lived a full life. And even though gymnastics took a back seat for decades, the fire never went out. It wasn't until her 50s that she started competing again. While others were hanging up their leotards, she was putting hers back on. And by her 80s and 90s, she was doing more physical activity than people half her age. At age 91, she took the stage in Berlin and performed a full gymnastics routine. The audience? Jaw on the floor, cameras flashing, applause thundering. But no one clapped because of her age. They clapped because she nailed it. And then, because flipping off bars wasn't enough, she decided to skydive at 90. Yes, 90. Most people wouldn't dream of jumping out of a plane in their 30s. Johanna just smiled, leapt, and floated like it was just another Tuesday. What fuels that kind of boldness? She says it's all about the daily habits, the small things that add up to a massive difference. Before she even gets out of bed in the morning, Johanna does what she calls bed gymnastics. Light stretches, joint movements, gentle activation exercises. It's her version of priming the engine before you drive. And once she's up, it's go time. Jogging, dancing, swimming, or practicing gymnastics, whatever her body feels like doing that day, she listens. But one thing's non-negotiable: she moves daily. Even her home is designed to support her health. No elevators. She climbs stairs every day. Minimal furniture to keep her mobile, and no giant TV marathons. She doesn't numb herself with hours on the couch. Her time is spent actively, joyfully, purposefully. But Johanna isn't just a movement machine. She's a full-spectrum health warrior. Her diet? Clean, colorful, and plant-focused. Lots of vegetables. Limited sugar. Rarely processed foods. She drinks water like it's her secret potion, which to her, it kind of is. And she eats in moderation, never following extreme trends or crash diets. Her plate is vibrant, balanced, and made to fuel, not deprive. She also prioritizes mental fitness. Every single day, Johanna challenges her brain with puzzles, reading, and memory games. Because to her, staying mentally sharp is just as vital as staying physically agile. It's all connected. A strong body needs a strong mind to steer it, and when it comes to rest, she guards her sleep like it's gold. 8 hours a night minimum. A nap here and there when needed. No guilt, no grind mindset, just recovery with intention. She believes sleep is the foundation that supports all her other habits. Her life philosophy? Movement equals life. And she walks that talk with 7 rules she lives by. Get at least 8 hours of sleep, because no recovery means no performance. Eat mostly plants. The more color on your plate, the more life in your body. Stretch before getting out of bed. Wake up your joints before the day begins. Move an hour every day. Doesn't matter what it is, just get moving. Train your brain. A flexible body is nothing without an agile mind. Choose joy. She believes happiness might be the most potent health supplement of all, and strengthen your body consistently. Simple resistance bands and home stretches, done daily, make a bigger difference than once-a-week workouts. Now let's zoom in on what her daily movement actually looks like, because this isn't guesswork. She's built a system. Every morning starts with bed stretches. Then, depending on the day, she does any of the following: light cardio like jogging in place or brisk walks, resistance training with bands or body weight, gymnastics practice to keep her agility sharp, swimming for joint-friendly cardio, dance classes for coordination, rhythm, and joy. It's a full body routine spread throughout her week. Not punishing, not extreme. Just consistent and tailored to what feels good in her body. That's key. She never forces. She flows. Now, if you're thinking, yeah, but I can't do gymnastics, good news. You don't have to. Johanna teaches simplified versions of her movement that anyone, yes, anyone, can do at home. Pelvic bridges with leg lifts, great for core and hips. Shoulder rolls and circles to loosen stiffness. Arm stretches to improve posture. Resistance band rows for gentle back and arm strength. Toe touches and hamstring stretches to stay limber. These might sound basic, but basic is where the magic begins. Especially when done every single day. She doesn't believe in overnight transformations. She believes in showing up daily, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Because those 10 minutes, they compound, they build energy, confidence, and momentum. They add years to your life and life to your years. And more than that, they prove to you that change is still possible. That's the real gift of Johanna's story. Not that she's a gymnast, but that she never stopped becoming. She reminds us that aging isn't a finish line, it's a fork in the road. One path leads to excuses and decline, the other to possibilities you never thought were still on the table. And if you're still skeptical, here's the kicker. When Johanna's videos started going viral at 86, many people simply didn't believe her age. She was too agile, too sharp, too vibrant. So Guinness World Record stepped in, reviewed her documents, verified every date, and confirmed. She is, in fact, the oldest active competitive gymnast in the world. What happened next? She didn't stop. She kept training, kept performing, kept speaking. She became a global symbol of what's possible when you ditch the "I'm too old" mindset. And now, her mission is simple: help others believe in themselves again, especially older adults who feel discarded, overlooked, or afraid. She tells them, you don't have to flip on bars to be strong. You just have to move, every day, a little more. And never, ever stop trying. Because when you commit to that kind of lifestyle, you don't just feel younger, you become younger in spirit, energy, and outlook. So, what's your next move? What if you picked one small habit today, just one, to honor your health? A 5-minute walk, a few shoulder rolls, a bowl of fresh fruit instead of chips, 1 hour less on the couch, and 1 hour more spent living. Because here's the truth. You don't have to be Johanna Quaas to age like a legend. You just need to start where you are and take one brave step forward. If this story inspired you, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below telling us the one habit you'll commit to today. Because your story is still being written. And just like Johanna, you might be one decision away from becoming a miracle in motion. Let's go.